If you're a man, you don't cry about it. You take life, the ups and downs. If you're a real man, you never go down, you just stay up. That's why this sport coat costs $800 and that costs $200. And I don't know what that costs, I'd be ashamed to wear it. That's why I'm wearing lizard shoes and a Rolex watch.
Importing it, snorting it, any competition extorting it, anything I want affording it, got enough crack to get four to hit, turn a saint to a sinner, lose to a winner, whether old school or upbeat, getting my shit's the best, Rick's the best, have your heart beating right out your chest, that Ric Flair like, woo! That Ric Flair like, woo! This is all I do, I got that Ric Flair like, woo! Woo! Styling, profiling, that Ricky make a girl go, woo! Big cause.
Great.
Are you recording?
Big ass will shut up. You heard me.
No.
I know you heard me.
No, I didn't. Not much. But I know
Racial
whatever
slurs.
I know whatever you said. I
Your
didn't like
dumb ass. I went in your wallet. I took this 20 out already. Fuck you.
I know whatever you said. I didn't like it. And your fucking crumbling here is fucking mediocre and low grade at average. You stink. Let me try this. You fucking idiot. No. Fuck him. No. Watch him see a master at work.
You
This
suck.
fucking idiot.
You suck at being a drug addict.
We both suck at being drug addicts.
No, I'm good.
I'm good at
No, I was like, we both. Like,
I was gonna
suck.
heat the plate more.
Which might be better. It could be better, but I think with my finery, it'll
Matt,
be
is
fun.
the oven still on?
I don't fucking know, man. It's fucking, you guys motherfuckers put this.
Matt's an idiot. Don't listen to him. He sucks.
That plate's good. You don't need to worry about shit. That was finally. Woo. We went to Miami. We finally hit that shit, man.
Okay, are we recording? Are we live?
Yes.
This is a podcast. We're starting right now.
What time
Welcome
is
to
it? It's
golf.
like 3:30 in the morning.
You've reached Goblin Ogre. Check it out. This is the Miami episode.
It's 3:20 a.m.
3:20 a.m.
What about it?
Did you guys notice at that last bar we were at, like, all these fat chicks swarmed in? Like,
To eat or to like do coke?
I think, like, the kitchen was about to close. And,
Yeah. The kitchen.
Where you lost your bag, so obviously not.
Those
They
bitches,
swallowed it up, yeah.
Those bitches don't get to outweigh you by 50
Oh, those
pounds.
fatzos, Robin.
They don't
You're
get
right.
to
Yeah.
outweigh you by 50 pounds by forming
Oh,
a
that's
cocaine
so
habit,
annoying.
you know?
Yeah. Fair enough.
Unless they're like those cocaine bitches that like fucking eat Snickers when they're coming down, you know? Snickers, you know? The fat white bitches eating the fucking Snickers bars.
They ruin everything. You're right. Snickers are cannibal. But, alright, thank you for joining in right now. Sanger is not participating in this recording. He, on our, suggestion, shouldn't be like, hey, just relax. And this is the podcast for this week. We're in Miami. We're having a good time. I lost cocaine somewhere, and we bought more. So I'm an idiot.
And it's 3 a.m.
And it's 3 a.m. So we got Matt, the owner, the former owner of Royal Comedy Club, and we got Lewis Moulds, the recurring guest that nobody likes, but is still here. So we're all together to give you this recording. It doesn't even matter. I'm upset right now because some of the cocaine we could be doing, I lost.
Lee,
I'm so
why
pissed.
don't you take off your pants right now and just determine you didn't lose it?
I think I did that in the bathroom with you. Where we searched myself to make sure that, like...
You were embarrassed. You were so embarrassed you didn't want to spit.
No, I wasn't embarrassed, asshole. I was pissed. So, alright, you know what? Where's the camera? I want camera footage of me showing my bare bullshit that I don't have on me. This is annoying. What we're doing right now.
I swear to God, that fucking plate's making more sound than like anything else. Like,
Of course it is.
is that all you can hear in the headphones, Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Perfect.
Okay, so that's like, yeah, that's good stuff for Sanker. 3.5 minutes of fucking plate chopping.
He's gonna love it. He's just gonna add it. So fuck Sanger and his fat, retarded, gluttonous ass. I'm gonna snort all this.
I don't think Sanker's a glutton.
He is. He's
just got like slow metabolism or something. You know?
No, he's a fat asshole. And I mean that.
Do you guys smell that? There's like fucking toast burning or some shit.
You're having a seizure.
Of course you would say that. This is the easiest thing.
Yeah. So is your point. So what? You wanna go find toast? Go find toast. You know what?
No, turn
I'm
off
wrong.
the fucking microwave, you coquette.
I'm wrong. Go find toast.
I knew this fucking key card would turn up at some point. This is a staple.
wooden one?
It's a staple.
The wooden fucking key
No,
card.
because you know what's happening now is they aren't just doing wooden key cards. They're doing wooden phone covers.
Okay. And what does that mean?
That just means it's like some gay fucking native
Take a mic.
art.
Let it-
Oh, I gotta
Take a
take
mic,
this.
stupid. Yeah.
Crack a Pacifico. Tell us about the wood card.
What did I? Okay, the wood cards. No, so I got this leather card, right?
Nobody asked
But
about
it's
that.
bad luck to buy your own wallet.
Yeah, because you're a fag for doing so.
No,
It's like
because
getting your own fucking what do you call it?
Lewis, you're
license
British,
plate.
you're superstitious, yeah.
Do you have your own license plate?
License plate.
yeah.
Do you have your own license plate? Because
I don't have a car.
No, but if you did, would you get a personalized license plate?
No, I wouldn't.
No, I
Because
would.
it's so gay.
I would never get that. I would never.
If
get
Why
that.
would you want it? No,
Personalized.
the biggest thing is like even living in downtown Toronto, it's kind of like a small town, and I drive aggressively.
Sure.
So why would I get that personalized license plate? So say like, okay, you live in downtown Toronto. There's
And
already
they
a
can
million
just- they
douchebags
can
driving a
snitch
white
on you. Yeah,
BMW, right? And then it's like, why would you draw that attention to yourself, being that one dude in like whatever
What
car?
is your ego? To
Yeah,
have
well, if
that
you live
available?
there, like my
Yeah.
thing is, I was only going 1.5 kilometers each way at a time, right? So I would only drive if.
Lewis, would you have ever, if you drove and you had a car, a personalized license plate?
Never.
Why? Like why?
Exactly the reason Matt described. Like it's
People know
not-
you, motherfucker.
Yeah, people
So
know you.
the-
I mean, to be fair, I only really drive my mother-in-law's car, which does have a personalized number plate. But it's like,
But you go like yourself. Like you have to go to
I
the
wouldn't choose
license plate office to get a personalized license plate. Like what if your shit was Lewis M? And I need to
that's
have
crazy to drive with.
That. Is it crazy or is it just
Hey,
cringe and
it's-
gay?
Why would you do it? Okay,
Well,
what
It's cringe.
me and
It's
Lewis
both.
just gave our reasoning for why you wouldn't do it.
It's crazy,
So,
and it's
why
cringe,
would you
and it's
do it?
gay. Why would you do it? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
this
To
is
stand
the,
out. I
that's
think
the
it's-
best point.
I think
To
it's just-
stand out
Okay,
on the roads.
1 second, Lewis.
Somehow.
We're gonna get through to like the key differences between the waspy white people
Right.
and the fucking.
That's really what the podcast
So
should
okay,
be
so
about.
this is what we do. So why do the Latinos want to stand out?
Yeah. What is that
As
about?
opposed to we don't stand out with our license plates. We stand out with our, I guess, what would be interpreted as our cars. I'm not a big let's say hydraulics guy, like Mexican-y, like hey look at what I'm riding. I'm not one of those guys because I don't make enough money. I think if I did make enough money, it wouldn't be like that. I would just have some very impressive. You know what? I like the look of I'm driving around important people type of SUVs.
You know what's really funny? On the recording, you could just hear some crazy supercar in the background.
Shit like that.
You probably can't even.
No, we
hear
don't
it.
detect it. But I'm just saying, like, for me personally, it's fun to just. On a personal level, I like that. If we
Yoink.
have, I like that if we have a certain pull.
Ah, yes, the old yoink philosophy. Yes.
Oh,
I like it.
Yeah. The
God, okay, so
yoink is a great. It's just a yoink.
It's
do
splits
you know
apart.
how much shit is like from old like British sailor English?
What do you mean by that?
No, there's so many sayings. It's like red
Pick
sky.
up the mic, asshole.
Fuck, why is it? It's like 4 in the morning. I don't want.
Just fucking. You know, that's what we're doing. Stupid shit.
This is actually like I did that one line, and I kind of want to fucking destroy your toilet again.
Like shitting?
Yeah, but like you've only been here for 2 days, and like you don't have any toilet paper left. What happened?
I shat my shit off. I really did. We had good food. Yeah, I don't know what it is about me, but sometimes I go to like home and I shit the most.
Yeah, no, I'm doing that in your washroom right now.
All right, so Matt's leaving.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Matt's leaving the contest right now.
I love how.
Does that happen to you though? Like you go home. Like,
I mean, it actually didn't happen to me because I was like, Matt, when you shit, go do it in Lee's washroom.
he was about to do it in yours. I was
He
like, yeah,
ran.
like, right
He
there.
ran across
And
the room.
He ran across the room to do it in mine.
Crazy.
What an
I've
asshole.
never seen anyone move that fast.
He
Is this
couldn't
your beer?
help himself. That's yours, buddy.
That's mine.
Yeah, that's yours.
He poured it into a glass for me.
No, but it's yours now. Because you made it. You made a thing with it.
I thought this was mine.
So, whatever.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Someone is like... Okay.
Look, I'm not opposed to just drink. Like, fine,
We-
this is mine. I'll drink it.
Alright, listen. We lost cocaine tonight. And we were very scurryingly, pathetically looking for it.
That was the worst thing you've ever seen.
And we eventually just had to buy more. Like, kind of like that. Like, I don't know about this. Like, the first time we bought it, it was like, it seems sketchy, but it's there. And then we lost it. Like,
Who's we?
me.
Who's we?
Me. Me, like Lee Fernandez. If you have to have a name, like, to attribute to this story.
Yeah, you.
I lost it somehow.
You honestly don't need any name to attribute to anything, but
Me and Matt like tried to do a little bit more, and that's where we discovered that it just wasn't there, and it was embarrassing. It was like we got like I don't know.
I love how you talk about this. Like, oh, I should be embarrassed too.
Grab a microphone,
Like-
you idiot.
who was embarrassed in this situation? I wasn't.
I didn't give a
Well,
shit.
you weren't there.
I still don't give a shit. It's like, whatever, you know.
Who cares?
Who
Exactly.
cares? You know what? You
In
know
the
what's
moment,
important
though-
out of the. You know what's important out of the matter, Lee?
No.
You fucking drug addict piece of shit.
What?
Is we went out to fucking West Beach, Miami, and we all had fun.
Well, we gave Lewis like the thrill of his lifetime because like
What are you talking about?
he wanted to feel like the fucking exuberance of the beach
Oh my
of
god.
Miami
I
without
wanted
being
to see the
interfered with
beach.
like fucking black people or like drugs. Like he just like he spread his arms and his legs like towards the Miami air. I'm like, hey, this is what it's all about. And once we were done, we went to go look for drugs, which the first roundabout I ended up losing.
First
And-
of all,
And then where did we go? We
the
just-
first bout.
Yeah.
First of all,
Yeah.
you're a complete liar.
No, you were so afraid
You're
of all
a
the
Yo,
complete
is this
liar.
one of the new ones with Charles on it?
Is it?
No.
No, it's a fucking lizard queen.
That's a
Dude,
Lizzie.
I went to fucking go and exchange these, and they told it was right after Miss Liz died, and they're like, "Yo, we can't give you the same rate with the Liz fucking bills. We gotta wait till the Charles ones."
Yo.
Really? I
Yeah,
thought it
dude,
was-
and even fucking trying to exchange money down here.
Vietnamese place?
No, it was in the airport or some shit, man.
Don't go to the airport to exchange money.
No, you don't go to the airport, but still, it was
You
like,
asked and you.
yeah,
what's so
no,
funny? I
but
like that happened.
That's
But I
crazy.
also hate that it happened. Like I'm like, yeah, she is a lizard, like sort of like demi-goddess of like the whole what we're going through in life.
We already took drugs
Yeah,
when we got to Miami Beach. I was like, let's go and experience these drugs
yeah,
on Miami Beach.
sure. Now that we're on drugs,
No,
It's
we were
still
already
in
on
Miami.
drugs. We were already on.
we
Yeah,
did drugs on
we
Miami
can't
Beach.
help.
Lee determined it was too windy to do all of the drugs on Miami Beach.
I
He
wanna
therefore
do-
went and lost some of the drugs
I want to do
afterwards.
windy, sketchy black guy drugs on the beach in the most bait place.
I
And just
really
say
like
no to
Louis.
America.
Okay, but what we really got to talk about the winner of this evening tonight was Lewis with this acid that he brought, because I was microdosing off of John Paul's dealer's shit.
well,
Before in June?
How soon were you doing it when you got here?
Oh, about like a month ago. Not
So
before,
you
like not when I
already
got
been
here. Not when I
microdosing
got
before you
here.
got
No.
here?
If I got here, man, like this shit was so fucking sketchy. The only good thing about this drug dealer is this guy apparently had some great, like the original like batch of acid from like Woodstock 1, like the Grateful Dead stuff from 1969.
Sure.
So this guy's got a batch of acid that's 55 years old right now.
But
That's like an authentic
But
batch.
you decided to do all that with us. Like,
Well, no, I didn't.
Me and fucking
We-
Lewis together. Like, as far as the podcast went, I was like, this is gonna turn up once Matt gets here, but we didn't know how, and everything that has transpired since you being here, we go, how the fuck haven't we recorded this? Because it is a hilarious,
I
array
think
of
Lewis
shit.
has just become too civilized because if Lewis wasn't married,
No, it's not.
none
even
of the
that.
surprise would have happened.
No, Lewis fucking loves what the fuck is happening right now. Like Lewis, is enchanted.
I know, but
by our,
if I ever
reckless
become a married man, I kind of want to
bullshitness.
be like Lewis, but
But
I-
imagine being Lewis. Imagine being like sort of like tied with this sort of like responsibility of being a Christian married man, and then he's around guys like us, for example, who take him out of that whole realm, and we're just reckless, sort of debaucherous, hilarious, stupid, like just this thing that he just enjoys. Without having to really put himself into, meaning he can just be like an outside stand. And I don't want Lewis, for example, who's a great friend of mine, to really purposely dive into what we're doing. But if he enjoys it, he's inevitably gonna get sucked into what the fuck we're up
The
to.
ultimate devil's bargain.
Yeah.
We didn't force you
No.
to sign the contract. You did it yourself.
But you thought it was so funny, and you thought it was so,
It kind of was funny.
yeah.
Recording you guys trying to grasping. No.
And that's what I think it is. It's like sometimes you bring people together out of
Really
what's funny.
Really funny to
You're
watch.
like, it's funny, and you're like, whether you like it or not, the fact that you think it's so funny, you're part of it. So just be part of it until you're not part of it. It's like, just accept it. You're that person right now.
It was so funny just to be witness to you guys trying to get whatever, and just being on the Baiters place in the Baiters state,
Yeah.
Miami, Florida, right on the fucking strip.
Well, we just put out whatever we think is funny.
what city on the planet do you think has the highest percentage of drug use?
What do you mean?
That's a good question. I think this place.
The drug use as far as
Yeah, so,
commercially and this excessively almost touristy, or just in general people don't know about this place.
It's a really good question because I travel a lot to the US for business, and I'm always trying to suss out what states are legal for
Sure.
weed, what states are legal for
there's
this.
some places
but
that are obvious they're funner to do drugs with, and there's others where you're like, oh, this place is a terrible drug problem. You go, oh, maybe it's not so fun to go have fun there. You know, you go, let's say Detroit is a focal point of, oh man, you can go get drunk and smoke weed and do coke there. But then you hear about Detroit and you're like, dude, that whole area is suffering. It's just on a massive decline. And anything that makes money for that city is actually contributing to its downfall. So you're like, well, do I really want to go enjoy myself there?
Well, Detroit had a very interesting story. It's when they had the financial crisis in 2008.
So financial crisis.
Well, they're still
2008.
going through that, but there was one billionaire that bought
So it's
up.
almost 2 decades worth of trouble.
Yeah, kind of. And then when the Flint, Michigan had that whole clean waters supply issue or whatever, and Barack Obama went there and made jokes about dirty water and stuff. And
Which is nuts because it's that.
Then he
that
then
whole
he drank the water.
But that
He was
whole
like,
state-
oh, look.
no, because he
But
did
that
that
whole
because
state is
his
so
first
close to
press
our country.
appearance, he just he tried to be funny and downplay it, but he just bombed.
Yeah.
Because these
Dude.
people had actually been going through fucking months of that stuff.
You know what's funny
And
is
with
that
Michigan
people only
too,
make
it
shit
used
like
to
this.
be Detroit used to be the world's richest city in
Sure,
the
but
60s.
people only give a shit about this if they're from Detroit. I was born in Sault Ste. Marie, for example.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And if I was so like gung ho and proud of Sault Ste. Marie, I have to like equal it to.
But like,
I was also born in the area of Detroit bullshit, because where Canada and Detroit and Michigan.
Yeah,
meet,
because like there's a lot of like the economy in that
Yeah,
area
so,
was based
like-
around auto manufacturing,
so
but that's all
Sault
like
Ste. Marie where I was born is part of the whole decline of that whole state.
yeah. And if you go to Sarnia too, and you look at the border of Lake, it's Lake St. Clair in that area, just north of Windsor, Detroit. But if you look in that area, the Canadian border is densely populated with factories that are like producing a lot of pollution,
but
and
they're
they're
not sustainable because they're just there to be used. And like, listen,
no, but that's the whole thing with Canada. Like Canada, all of our resources
of course,
are there to be used.
every other country. But I go like, I don't have a pride. I don't have like this thing where I go like, I was born in Sault Ste. Marie, so I'm proud.
No, and we
I
were
like,
talking
what I
about
know
that in the
that
cab
place-
earlier. It's stupid to be proud of something
Of
you never
anything.
had control of.
Where were you born, Lee?
Sault Ste. Marie.
Okay, so you were
Yeah.
born like there, but you have like Ecuadorian.
Well, I was
Parents.
only born there because my family, my mom had like serious like weird condition where we were living, which was Elliott Lake. They couldn't handle her in that hospital, so she was flown to the Sault Ste. Marie hospital, and the doctor like told my dad, he was like, only one is gonna survive this. You know what I mean? So brace yourself. And my dad, like a fucking South American gangster, grabbed him and said, they're both gonna survive, or you don't. And then we ended up both living. So what does that tell you? One guy could tell you, like, hey, I don't think this is gonna work out for one of them. And then some scary dude tells you they're gonna live or you don't. And then they do. It's kind of like mesmerizingly eye-opening, where you go, okay, well, you know, sometimes people who are in this health industry shit that are supposed to save life treat it like a job. They just treat it like a job. They don't care about saving lives. It's not a thing for them to like be like, hey, you know what I did today? They don't care. It's a 9 to 5. And until like a psychopath, like my dad, goes, hey, listen, if one of them doesn't survive, neither do you. I will murder you.
so
Like,
is he?
back in the 80s? It was
Is
like,
he dealing with people from his own?
no,
Maybe not country, but like.
he's just dealing, like going to the hospital and
Right.
people telling him things. So he's just reacting off of, oh, hey man, your wife is going through.
So
some
there isn't
complications."
like oh, I know the language that the nurse speaks. There isn't any of that kind of like
And
ethnicity thing. Because I'm always like curious about like South American shit when it comes to North America. Because obviously like a lot of South Americans want to come to
it's very
America,
different,
and it's like a very like different thing to like me coming to North America, for example. Like it's a different thing altogether. Like what does it mean for like them to come? Is there any like intercontinental disputes between like if like
There wasn't much
Venezuelan nurse versus
there wasn't like much of a combative component like between like me being born and like the Canadian government. It was more like my mom was just so sad, like that she couldn't see me as much as she wanted to.
right.
Within the first 2 months of me being born, because I was premature, and it's all thanks to kind of like my dad, who just goes like, no, like he's not gonna die, and my wife's not gonna die, because if either one of them does, you die. It was back in the day where you could threaten,
Yeah.
like.
Well, that's not even
hospital
really
staff.
a threat. That's just like a message sent. But yeah.
He
I
just
remember
want-
hearing a really nice story at C3 Church.
Yeah.
And it was like this chick, her like husband just like had this stroke out of nowhere. And the guy, like the doctors, first thing they asked, like the guy ended up in a coma for like 6 weeks. Right? And he just got his wife
sure,
pregnant. and there were evangelical Christians or whatever that were very devout to the church that Lewis took me to. And anyways, yeah, so like the doctors were asking him, it was during COVID and stuff, they're like, oh, do you have any drug habits or anything like that? They're like, nope, we got nothing like that. They're like, we can't explain why the guy's having these strokes or whatever. And then anyways, yeah, one day the guy just like woke out of it, like out of nowhere or whatever. But I remember like I was going to church or whatever, his wife was telling this story, and she was like, she prayed and she was like, I just can't do another day of this. It's like, this isn't an option. It's either he dies or like he doesn't die and we move on, you know?
Yeah.
So she kind of like just prayed and gave an ultimatum, and you know, that's how I moved forward, you know?
Well, it's like when that happens, like sometimes you really don't know how to actually even what the step forward is. You know you have to like keep going, but you don't know what that means. Like so it's kind of up in the air. So like when I think about my dad like having to deal with what my mom was going through, and like that whole decision of like, all right, like I'm gonna be dealing with a woman that's like an hour and a half, maybe two, from her premature baby, that nurses are gonna mostly be tending to and raising for that time. So when she leaves, like as far as like being able to hold me or whatever, that whole trip of leaving, where she's like, I can't put him to bed, I can't like, you know, whatever it is, and then the trip of going back to, I get to hold him again, and what if he falls asleep? How do I put him to sleep? It's just like it's such a grueling thing. And me being premature like that, I go like, I understand like why my dad, in a sense, was so violent and so crazy when he was like with alcohol. It's a pressure that you just don't quite like, you can't quite digest, because you want to leave everything. You want to put everything behind you and just like escape the fact that your kid is abnormal maybe, and your wife is incredibly bitchy and just like annoying. Like it's safe to say.
Or regardless of a premature birth, I think that's any struggle a husband has to deal with, you know?
But it's like, I mean, like, given the context of like why we're here, you were like that Fernandez fucking gene.
Yeah.
I was watching the TV, watching fucking like Sportsnet clips, and it's like so crazy how it's like, if you're in like an airport in Canada and you're like, fuck this could be a shithole, it's like you're still seeing TSN. We go to Miami Beach, the most beautiful place, and then we just like, I'm sitting in a bar, you two have gone to the bathroom, I was like watching TV, and it's like TSN.
And there's like, you know, like a little glimpse.
Yeah. Lee was like, oh yeah, we're not going to meet my brother because he's doing some tennis thing. And I'm like, what tennis thing?
Yeah. And
Wimbledon.
And I know I mentioned this before. Like, it was so funny. Like my niece on some tennis thing. And then, like, Lewis goes, Wimbledon? Yeah. And like, yeah, sure. And it's like, he goes like that, like the way he reacted wasn't such a like, well, as far as Wimbledon goes, it's a major thing, like for tennis players. Like it's a thing that just not everybody, like gets to. Like I watched like my favorite sports team, the New York Yankees. You go, all right. I realize the first baseman that I like is injured, and now they got a replacement first baseman from the minors. It was like a third, the third minor league thing, but they bring him up because they need him. You watch him and you hope the best for him because like it's your team. Yeah, you like him. My niece, for example, just doesn't have that. Like she always has to perform. But whether she loses or whatever, yeah, it's so funny. Like what? How would you feel like if Aaron Judge, for example, was your nephew? Like he's so much bigger than you. For example, he's just such a. I'm the captain of the New York Yankees.
Matt doesn't know who that is.
Do you know
Yeah, not a
Aaron
clue.
Judge?
He has
No.
Do
no
you know who the
clue.
New York Yankees are?
Of course.
Sure. And now Aaron Judge is the captain of the New York Yankees. Imagine if Aaron Judge was your brother. You're Matt Judge.
Yeah.
That's who you are. But your brother is the fucking captain of the most popular team in the USA.
Yeah.
You think about the Cowboys, you think about the fucking Panthers, whatever it is. You think about every other popular, like, succeeding sports team in the U.S. The New York Yankees have always been an imprint of American kind of society. And imagine your brother is the captain of that team.
I think I actually might have more insight on this than what you're ready
Go on.
for. So, I was like troubled in high school or whatever. I was always like getting in trouble at school or whatever. So like after I finished high school or got close to finishing, my parents decided to put my younger brother through.
But may I ask, like, what was like troubling you in high school? Like,
Oh,
what were the things
I
that,
just
like,
got
fucking with you?
bored and I just didn't go to school.
But were other people like kind of like bullying?
No. If anything,
So
like
you're
I
like just,
yeah, I was
bullshit.
just I just didn't like school. I was bored, right?
Mhm.
And anyway, so my parents knew that or whatever. Like, actually, I got asked to leave high school, and when I was asked to leave high school, my dad told me, "He's like, you can either like come and work with me, and try to clean your act up, or you have to move out of the house if you're not going to school."
Nice.
So either or you clean your act up.
I cleaned my act up. It was like the best thing. Like, I'm so lucky my dad had his own business.
Yeah, dude.
In trades,
So you
where
want
I could do that, and
For
that's
real.
like created the rest of the thing for my life. But after where I was
Do you
going
think,
with
like,
the story,
Do you think like that's some bullshit like weak ass shit? I always go like guys that like that they had an advantage with their dad or their uncle. I don't look at that as weak. I like, hey man, you had an advantage, and guess what? You went with the advantage.
well, that's what it is. You
I don't
either
think it's like bad.
anybody in life, everybody gets different opportunities and advantages in
Yeah.
life. And
For example,
you-
me and Lewis in this room is an advantage because
100%.
my
100%.
brother is like the father of a very popular, successful tennis star. Which is so crazy to try to like wrap my head around.
yeah, no, and that's one thing I've always said is everybody gets different opportunities in life.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna do that right away. But you guys go first.
The thing that I enjoyed about you, Matt, as far as like whatever opportunities you took, was they were very daring. They're very like risk, almost like kind of oriented.
Oh yeah, no.
You know,
Like even the shit, like I had the advantage of my dad and all that, but when I started my own business, my dad sold his, and the company that bought his business hired me to replace him as a salesperson after like a year that he had sold the business.
because they like entrusted the fact that your dad was who he was. And they're like, oh,
Yeah, they
I'm
liked-
passing on my son, and he should be.
I was
like,
the most sociable out of anybody
Sure.
that worked for my dad's business. It made more sense
You
for
were an
them.
easy selling point. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I got sick of it, started my own business, but people wouldn't hire me to do jobs for them until they knew that I had like backing. Like I could
Right,
actually
some
deliver
some
on
credibility.
stuff. Yeah. So if they were going to go and stop using their old supplier, which was the business my dad sold to, and they were going to start using me, they needed to make sure that I had all the resources to take care of them before they pissed off their old supplier.
Right. So it's not so apparent the fact that they're probably in a failing endeavor.
Yeah, so like my big thing is I've always said it's like everybody gets different opportunities thrown in front of them. It's how you take advantage of opportunities thrown in front of you. And if you're
Dude.
going to be the sort of person who's jealous and angry of somebody who's successful,
Right. And
you're not
bitter,
actually jealous and angry at them. You're jealous and angry at yourself because
Sure.
you never took those opportunities.
And you're watching somebody else strive with the shit you think you could have.
But
It's very like it's okay, like meaning even though you like I think that way, because I think as comics we all have a comedian in our brains that we saw that happen for, and we're like, oh, that motherfucker is so not funnier than me. That fucker is just so his premises are hacked, but somehow he's killing it. Somehow he is getting the marquee
Well,
spot.
another thing I've always said too, man, is there's politics in anything you do in life.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter how trivial you think it is. There's always
part is in
politics.
comedy where you go like, it's even in here. Where you go like, you almost expect the fact that you get that it's everywhere, but the fact that it's in here is so fucking defeating. You go like, there's politics literally in everything, even with funniness. Because a guy could be less funny than you, and you can trash that guy in such a funny way that he shouldn't even have a career after how hard you smashed him in front of people. But yet, people will book him because he's got 40,000 followers on fucking Instagram.
Well, that's
And you're
businesses.
like, "Ugh."
That's just like what sells and what pays bills,
But
you know?
what you realize about that is just bad business. Because even though they have that seemingly like large following, none of them really actually like him. Somehow he bought those followers.
Who are you talking about, Lee?
Kyle Lucy.
Okay.
Specifically. I've seen Kyle Lucy on the fucking Royal thing. I'm like, how the fuck is this cocksucker?
No, actually, before I sold the business, I always used to think that Kyle was doing a very generic act.
No, he's a phony. Like I go like
No, but like before, like I sold the Royal, Kyle came out with another 15 minutes of material, and it was actually like more genuine and more authentic, and actually pretty creative, and like I wouldn't
so
say
he
like
sold,
gold.
He sold his act like as far as like whether it's like
I'd say he developed it, because the other thing too, like what always struck me with Kyle is like whenever Kyle would like come and talk to me or whatever, like he'd always give me unsolicited advice, which in general I don't think anybody ever wants unsolicited advice, right? However, Kyle was actually like very well spoken. He like when Kyle talked to me, I always thought he was like 33 or 34 until like, you know, you actually go and say, oh, he's only 26 or 27. He's like talking all this stuff.
to me, like, I know Kyle and I live with him, and I'm just like, here's the thing, I want this motherfucker to succeed. I want to be able to like one day just scrolling Netflix and see this stupid asshole's face on the screen, because I go like, what he's doing merits elevating himself towards like where he wants to be, but the thing about it is like when you like accept all that, you go like, this motherfucker's a phony. He is utilizing what he thinks he needs to do on stage, and then utilizing what he thinks he needs to do off stage. So he's playing all sides. And I go like, I like guys that murder on stage, and you just can't quite. We were talking about Kanan Kunz. Kanan Kunz is a guy that is hilarious and has apparently been doing it for so long, but you can't quite lock him down because he just doesn't make himself available like that. I don't like guys that make themselves desperately too available for things. Where I go like, if you're talented, whatever is in the cards for you is gonna follow. But then there are people who just put themselves in line with, I just want to be like forefront and
So talk us through the Ali Maui guy who approached us on
Well, he was charming.
Ocean View Drive.
He was charming.
But like, what was the play like when
for us?
we
I'll
were
tell you.
talking about your Mustang?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I bought the Mustang for my dad, and he overheard it. Then he came over and talked
You know
to
why?
us.
though,
Yeah.
is it,
And that in itself is a very interesting story. Like, could you like explain more about like what the journey was? You
Like,
bought
how
it
that,
in one
like,
place
actually-
and then you...
Oh yeah. Well,
developed,
actually,
yeah.
the first thing, Lee, you were talking about how would you feel if your brother had this opportunity to go and pitch for the Blue Jays, and kind of squandered it.
Sure.
So where I was going with my story earlier was like I was trouble in high school. And my parents saw my brother coming up, and they're like, "We don't want to deal with that." So
But
they
coming on what way though?
no, just like him coming up to be like a teenager out of like elementary
Oh,
school,
just
like
kinda acting out
13,
of line
yeah,
type of
13,
shit,
14-year-old,
rebelling,
yeah.
rebelling.
Yeah, having a bit of testosterone
Sure.
or whatever. So my parents decided to send him to St. Andrew's private school. And my brother actually got offered like 6 different scholarships to go and pitch
Damn.
for
Full-blown
different
pitcher.
college teams in the U.S. He was throwing an 85-mile-an-hour fastball with accuracy.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie about this
That's kinda
shit.
wild.
Like, to watch it, here's the thing: like, you ever watch a guy do something where like that's kind of like awesome? Like, you almost feel like if I was a girl, I would think that was like hot. Due to pitch, I'm like, when I watch like a pitcher like throw or whatever, I'm like, that's awesome. I just think it's awesome. So you know, like, if I was like a woman, I wonder if I would just be into pitchers because it's that like level of like throwing everything you have.
Oh my god, the gayness of Lee Fernandez is finally coming out.
It is.
What did you think of
Jeez.
Greg Zahn as a commentator on?
Greg Zahn?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, dude.
Okay, he got taken out with the whole Me Too movement back in 2019, 2020.
Before.
But he used to be the main catcher for the Blue Jays up until like 2017,
Oh, that
2018.
religious guy, yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, he was like well-spoken, incredibly experienced ball player, but there was something that happened. He got caught up in the Me Too thing.
Yeah, the whole like, hey, like gay pride, this and that. And they asked him about it, and he was like sincere. That's the thing about sincerity. Like when you don't like sort of acclimate to the what people want you to feel or think or whatever, is it's so hard to be an individual if you don't like agree with the proposed the proposed like sort of like scenario.
Well, that was the problem with like Western politics over the last 4 years, because we had a lot of liberal governments thinking that they understood minority populations, mostly Muslim minority populations, that they didn't understand them for shit.
So they understand if they did, they would know that Muslims don't like gays.
Yeah,
First and
exactly.
foremost.
Well, like the Netherlands is having a huge problem with the
It's
Muslim
like-
immigrants
like-
coming in
and
there,
gays
for
shouldn't be
example, or like
acknowledged.
Italy
I mean,
or Spain or whatever, for example. But like on Christmas Eve, me and my Mexican ex-girlfriend were in the Netherlands, and we were taking a train to go into downtown Amsterdam for a reservation we made for Christmas dinner. And these three, they were either Turkish or Lebanese immigrants, started throwing bottles at us outside of the train station.
Unprovoked?
Unprovoked for no reason. I was dressed
Yo.
nice because she always liked to have me dressed up.
But what is dress nice to you? Like, what is the
This was me
ensemble?
with beige khakis, brown leather shoes, fucking suede jacket, fucking pink collared shirt, all of that shit. Like
I would throw rocks at you too. Anyways,
No, anyway, so I ended up like the one kid, I had him on the ground, and then his friends were saying, "No, don't do it. He's on drugs or whatever." I'm like, dude, I've done a lot of drugs. I never fucking go assaulting people.
but like, what did he do to like get him on the ground like that? Like
So we were going up an escalator, and then I feel like a water bottle hit me on the back. And I look around, I see these three young guys at the in
Just,
the
like,
middle of the
laughing at
escalator. Yeah, the one's laughing really bad because they said he was on drugs or some shit, and the other two weren't.
It's so funny, dude. I've been on the receiving end of being like, I didn't do it, but I'm laughing the hardest, and the guy like chooses to fuck with me because I'm the one laughing the hardest. So you go like, you just gotta take it. You gotta take your beating, because any guy that I've laughed at their like miscomings and then wanted to beat me up, I just take it. I've never been the victim guy, like, oh, you want to fight me, even though I provoked you. Now I'm gonna be the guy that like, hey man, like why would you do this? I give you one good lick. You go, just hit me like how I deserve it. But if you become abusive about it, well then we gotta have. Like,
I was
that.
bothered because they threw the bottle at me. Then the one dude that was on drugs kept calling my girlfriend a whore. So then, like, when they got to the top of the escalator, I kicked that guy down right away, and his two buddies were going, what the fuck? Like, we're going to call our brothers
Sorry,
or whatever.
what country was this in?
In the Netherlands.
Netherlands. Okay.
But
Yeah.
like, was this guy calling your girl whore? Because I know like someone's calling my girl whore. It wouldn't affect me. But like, you go.
Well,
you
after you just threw a water bottle at me, then you start doing that shit, and like
Yeah.
she
I
was
think
like
I-
fucking small too, so like
Sure.
she was like off to the corner while I'm engaging
You know what's
with
funny
these
about
guys.
that is like they go, they're calling your chick a whore because they're probably like, hey, what up, baby, blah, 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 and they, like lick their tongue towards her, and she's like, ew, and like she's a fucking skank, like she's a whore. You're like, if I'm about to get in a fight with at least 3 other dudes, and
Well, they're
The-
three
and the girlfriend
17-year-olds,
gets
man.
brought
They're
up?
3 17-year-olds, man. And the other thing is, like, you don't get to call my girlfriend a whore. If anybody's gonna go and call anybody a whore, that's gonna be fucking
It's on
me.
me.
That's
Yeah.
like my
That's what I'm
bitch.
saying.
That's not
I'm
your
saying,
bitch.
Let's say it was like very
anything about, you know?
non-confrontational. It was very non-threatening. But in that whole interaction, they go, "Your bitch is a whore. That fucking whore. Like fuck you. Go enjoy your whore." It's like you go, like what the like. What do I do? They are 17-year-old fucking retards. But do I make an example out of this? Like, do I actually
Well, the
like?
one guy
Sounds
I
like a
pushed.
Becca voice that you're doing.
Oh, Becca didn't give a shit. Like when it came to like all that, she didn't care. She's like, whatever. They're just fucking gay. Becca was great.
She was kind of cool for that, but we have seen like 100 Beccas since we've
Being
been
in my
here.
head, it was funny. Like
That
we
is
saw,
something to mention.
Like what we saw, the first Becca we saw, or like, that was like Becca, and then Lewis goes like, yeah, she's got a little boy body. She's got a little hot boy body. Like,
I said child body. I said
she's got a sexy child body.
I didn't say sexy. I
You
just
know
said-
it was hot though, because we both looked at it like, wow. And then you said hot child body.
I just said child.
Oh,
I didn't say
Lewis.
hot. I did not say hot.
I was like, I get it. Like, yeah, she was like tiny. And yeah, so that was fine. But if she is listening, which I doubt it, I hate that you blocked me for your good cocaine. And fuck you. I ran into you enough times downtown.
Yeah, you're the reason I
Well-
have to like deal with this fucking stupid shit.
Exactly.
The baitest place of all time.
I ran into you enough.
I'm like,
where
should
we're
we
clearly-
buy weed? Is it
We're clearly not an item anymore, and we can be cool. It's so funny 'cause I said like I don't want to hate you anymore. Once I saw like the third time we met, and she goes, "You cheated on me," and I go like as I was leaving like, "You made me." Like, you guys ever been with a girl that like holds sex from you for some reason, like as if you can't get it again?
There's nothing usable on this podcast.
You think so?
There's like
Yeah.
30 minutes of good.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to like degrade what you're saying at all, but like.
But in general, I'm just going like sometimes women that you've been associated with or you've been involved with try to bring you down, and you're like, it wasn't just on me, asshole. Now that I'm rethinking about it, because I think as guys we want to blame ourselves for anything. The fact that we lost a job, the fact that we got kicked out of a partner, the fact that our family didn't talk to us. I think we just naturally want to blame ourselves. But sometimes, like when life presents itself as it wasn't your fault, yeah. Well, how do I deal with it? I can't just accept it, like man. Like
Should we stop recording and have some fun for a sec? No.
We gotta finish this first podcast, and
Right.
then send this to Sanger. Well, depending on how much have we gone into this.
Enough.
Enough?
We've done enough.
So send this to Sanger. This is part
Plus
one.
the video.
Do we have video?
We have such good video. You have no idea.
What video did you get?
I've got you doing like bumps in front of the Miami place.
Oh, fucking nice, man. Like,
It's so funny.
It looks really good.
You know what I love about this? If like this podcast became anything, they would have to like go years to see what Matt's doing. They go like, who's this guy? Like who's like doing coke so overly? It just seems to me like whatever we're doing, no one's gonna give a shit until one of us makes it.
No one cares.
Until then they will care. Then they'll dive into what the fuck this is.
Until then,
So once they do, I just want to say this: you're the fucking worst human being that can ever really exist.
video now, but
You're trying to like garner some edge towards people that are willing to just bear themselves. You're a piece of shit for trying to expose us for this. Like, you're not a real human being. We are.
we already told you what we're doing.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to like, this guy's.
Can you believe what they said? Yeah.
Yeah, we
You're
already
not-
did it. It's fine.
You're a fucking gay,
Negro.
bitch ass lesbian whore of a mother that sucks its own cunt. How about that?
I mean, I
Use
really,
that against me.
I really couldn't say any better myself if I were to just like
My name is Matt Mitsy.
crack a
By the
clam,
way.
and just like talking to the mic.
Where's the Matt Mitsy come from, by the way?
While I do this.
Because he goes like, it's Matt Glenn, which is cooler than Matt Mitsy. But I go like, what is Matt Mitsy all about?
No, I thought Matt Glenn was too fucking boring, man.
Matt Mitsy's gay though. You go like, Matt
No,
Glenn
I
is
thought
cool,
like
and
Mitzi
it is boring.
Shore, and then like
Matt
it was
Glenn's
also
like
I
a-
wanted to have the distance
Mr.
between.
I don't
me and,
know.
like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Matt Glenn is like,
I don't know, Mister. I don't be knowing. I don't be knowing
Are you
anything.
calling him like a?
I don't
like a-
be
No,
knowing.
he's doing like some sort of like
I
Aunt
don't
Jemima
know.
thing from the 50s, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, Mister.
or that's like the Three Stooges when they had that one.
I'm just
black
happy
dude that
to
would
be
always
here,
be-
mister. I'm just happy to be here, sir. Let me just
Clarify.
clarify for a
For
quick
listeners,
second.
listen.
I'm just
I'm a fucking
humble-
bum ass.
I'm a
fucking
humble-
person. And guess what?
I'm a humble man
Lewis
from
is
the
even more of
from
a
the-
bum ass than I am.
from the south swamps of Georgia. I don't even know what's going on.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on, but
This is what's going on. Lewis and I planned this trip
I don't know who Lewis is.
while we were like fucked up. He's a
I don't know. who
Louisiana,
Lewis
Brit.
is. I'm from Louisiana.
and
That
he
is
can't
true.
help himself.
That is
Being
true.
British. He's a miserable.
That
fuck.
accent's actually the most relatable like American accent to the British accent.
Oh shit! What's my American accent? I gotta figure out my own like. So
You
know,
gotta figure out your own.
Right.
shit,
You and me, we're both like
son.
General
I don't
New
sound
York,
like you,
man.
yeah.
You don't want to sound like me, son. You don't want to.
Like when I travel, like when I was in South America and stuff, I meet European people or whatever. Like I'd
Do you
always,
ever like get influenced by Europeans how they talk?
no, like
You're that weird-
the
Oh.
only thing I would ever
Please
try to
don't.
do is hide my.
Please don't.
No, the only thing I would ever try to do is just hide my Canadian accent.
Yeah, how about this for a European influence?
For real?
Yeah, man. So like the biggest thing with us is when we say like verbs or
Because
nouns
like
with
people
oh
sometimes
you.
like try to acclimate to who they're dealing, like who they're hanging out with. For example, like something like black people, and they're like, "Yo, what's up?" Like they'll almost
No,
like
the only thing I do, man, is like for example, my email address is outlook.com. So if you're Canadian,
Outlook at Outlook.
Yeah, but like Canadians, we always go like ooh. We don't say ow, we say ooh. So we always
What?
say like outlook or like
that's weird.
Yeah.
But your actual email is Outlook.
yeah, no,
At
but Canadians
outlook.com?
in general, man, and I actually noticed this like before when I was in the US where I would like say like a word with the OU and I would go ooh instead of ow.
Don't take this as an insult, but I go like, Matt is not that clever, like to do what you're describing right now. I go like,
What, to change my accent when I'm talking
no,
to foreigners? or?
to like change your. I'm at blah 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 at blah 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 blah.com. I like what the voices that you put on with people. I'm like, that's fine, but something like the cleverness behind, for example, an email address. I go like, I don't believe.
Well, it's not like cleverness behind an email address.
It is,
Just
though.
when I'm talking to Europeans or Americans, I hide the Canadian accent.
Please send all gay porn to leefernandez@live.ca.
Please, and market it like at like the what do you call that shit? Like the line of like what is that? Like the
Including the subject line book
Subject
in
line.
2024.
unless it's like something not sexy, I will not look at it. You don't understand. I will look at gay porn, and I will laugh at it because it is funny. Like, but what is like a porn that you've ever watched that's like embarrassingly, you go, why did that turn me on? I saw a long time ago. This is stuck with me. It was like one of those Arab women with the hijabs or whatever. So ugly. It's just a non-attractive woman, and just laying somewhere with her legs spread. And I looked at her pussy, and I was like, "That's such a hot-looking pussy." It didn't look ugly. It looked beautiful. And I was like, "Ugh, I'm not into that." But I would so fuck her if I could. it just looked so hot. So I'm like, does anybody else share that? Or like, I'm not into hijab pussy, but that scenario.
No. Like I'm replying to black guys on the street in Miami Beach.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm gonna stop recording this.
Really?
No.
Nah, we gotta finish on a higher note.
No.
But let me ask you this, Lewis, before we finish it. As you're so adamant of, that's fucked up. What is like something that just fucking grew your dick that you go, ugh.
Yo, Lewis, I gotta ask you one last dude, man. You give it 2 minutes.
Yeah, let me finish with this.
No.
Where you go like,
Wait 2 minutes. You're gonna be holding your hand a while.
The fact that this made me so goddamn like aroused.
Well, it's.
I shared mine and it was gross.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna share mine, and the truth is, I'm really into